Hey YouTube, what's going on? Well, I got another package here, and as you can tell by the title, it's an XM24 and a Hinderer XM24. And man, I have been wanting this knife forever. And if you've been noticing, the knife industry seems like it's just a little slowdown going on over here. Knives aren't selling like they used to, which is good news for us real knife people, right? We're able to get what we want to get. So like I said, it's been maybe 2 years or more that I've been trying to get one of these. So here it is. Now, of course, you know, it's going to be trying to get the scale for it. So I'm using my my Hinderer Eclipse to open this box. And the buoy blade, got a video on this one, so come check it out. So what this is going to be is, obviously it's an unboxing. So I think a lot of times I do these unboxings and people will make comments about it, about the video as if it was a review. So I just want to let you know that these are just my first impressions of this knife, right? They could change tomorrow. I am just getting it in the hand for the first time. I try to do, you know, as little research as possible on these knives. So you can get like a real honest opinion about, you know, get my real honest opinion about it. So it's not a review, it's a first impressions. It could change tomorrow, so here we go. Let's get to it. Wow. All right. So right away, it feels heavy, which is, I love heavy knives. So if you've been following this channel, you'll know that I love a heavy knife. Oof. Nice. All right, let's just see what else. So you got, it's a tri-way pivot. You know, you've seen the box before. Let's get to it. First flip. Nice. So right away I can tell you that this blade stock is thicker than a normal XM blade stock. Here's a normal XM-18 blade stock. So this is like the larger version of an XM-18. And you can see clearly, or hopefully you can see clearly, that this is thicker stock. And essentially, if you get an XM-18 fatty, this is the same thickness, should be the same thickness as this blade here. And I don't have a caliper to measure it, but just know that the blade thickness of an XM-24 is thicker than an XM-18. So, you know, there's been a bunch of these. There's still a bunch of these online that you can get. And, you know, it used to be a time when it came out and within, 3 minutes they were completely gone. So, oh, that comes in sharp. Let's try this. What do we have here? Piece of paper. All right. Make sure there's nothing on there that has my name. Check out the paper cut. Oof. Yes. Wow. I tell you what, they've been really doing a much better job with their sharpening recently. I wonder if it's the person that's done it. You know, I wonder. Anyway, I'm not going to check that. So what do I think about this? Man, it is a big knife and I like it. One of the things I didn't like about the XM-18 is because I have a double XL hand or double X hand, this finger choil here, or this flipper tab would crouch my finger and butt up against it. But here there's plenty of room, and it also has this choke up position, so that's really nice. I really like that. So it's got this natural finish to it, and a black G10 scale. Man, it does feel substantial. Let's weigh it. Here, I got my scale here. Turn this puppy on. See if you can see it. Okay, there you go. Pounds and ounces, so. Oof. Right, went down pretty quickly there. 7.6 ounces. Oh, this is 7 pounds. Never mind. Don't listen to me. Let's see. What's a regular XM-18 weigh? 5.4. So like 2 ounces and change more. And then this here is a fatty blade, so it's the same thickness blade, and it's a full titanium, and that's only 6 ounces. So this is substantially more in weight, which is what I love. Man, do I love a nice heavy knife. So this is great. Let's talk a little bit about this thing. Just like the XM-18, the flipper tab here is a little pointy. It doesn't really bother me per se, but it's pointy, you know, somewhat pointy. You've got that landing zone here that has got some what do they call this? Not chamfering. They've got some roughness to it. The name is not coming to me, so pardon me. But you know, some people complain about how when you flip this knife, an XM-18, it lands in this area here and it hurts your fingers, but it doesn't bother me at all. You know, it obviously gives you a little more traction if you grab it. I mean, this knife definitely fits my hand really well. Let me get rid of this this scale here. Oh, you know, I said the ounces. Let me give you grams for you people not in America. Sorry about that, guys, but hey, 215 grams. So, all right, so that's that. Yeah, so I mean, what I've noticed right away is that this knife seems to like fall down like a guillotine a little bit. Yeah, look at that. Flipping action's amazing. One thing about the Hinderers is they really got a real tight lockup. And part of that is because these thumb studs are also a like a blade stop, external blade stop. And it's, you know, it's got a good lockup here. I don't know, what is that, 25%? It's got a steel lock bar insert, but it doesn't have a, normally they would have a, before I say that, yeah, normally they have a blade stop pin, so this doesn't have one. I don't think that bothers me at all because you've got these. So this is like overkill, but I was going to say, no, you know, these things are solid as a vault. I mean, this definitely fits really well in my hand too. So I like that. Of course, you're going to have to flip the pocket clip to the right position. So this is tip up, tip down. You can put the pocket clip, and it's only a righty one. This is a really nice blade here. This has got a real serious tip to it. These knives are known for being, all the Hinderer knives are known for being something that you can abuse. Another thing I want to point out, people think sometimes that this is a proprietary design on the pivot, and it's really not. It's a spanner bit. You can use a spanner bit. It's a spanner 12 at least on this guy, and I imagine it's the same on this one. But the point is, you know, you don't need any special tools for that. This also has a lock bar stabilizer, so it prevents it from going out too far when you pull it, but also from going up and down also. Rick Hinderer had created this lock bar stabilizer. This thing has a lanyard hole. It doesn't bother me. You know, could I live without it? Absolutely. But there it is. What else? I mean, it just feels really good in the hand. I'll tell you, I like it. You know, I've hesitated. I mean, this is a $600 knife, so I was really hesitant about, you know, spending that kind of money on a knife at this point. I mean, I have so many knives, but I did, and I don't regret it. At least I don't regret it right now as we speak. So let's talk about its size. So if we line it up here, it's 9 1/4 inches with a blade stock of 4 inches and a cutting edge of 3.5 inches because of this finger choil. You know, I use a knife mainly for self-defense, to be honest with you, and opening some boxes. But, you know, I don't use a knife a lot. So you'll get, you know, a lot of people that might use a knife at work, and there's a lot more features that they need. I mean, for me, I just like a real strong knife, something that's capable. If I got into trouble, maybe I was in a house fire and I needed to break a window or jar something open or whatever. I mean, I don't go through these scenarios in my head of what could possibly happen to me. But the point is, if something did happen to me, I like something that's stronger than it is like a cutting tool per se, because I mean, I can go days without cutting anything, and a lot of times when I even use a knife, instead of ripping something open with my fingers, I'll use my knife because I have it on me. So I'm one of those knife guys that carry a knife for protection, and it's not something that I use every day at work. So for me, I like this one in particular because of its blade stock. This XM-18 is my favorite because of the fatty blade, and it's also got a beautiful Wharncliffe blade that's a very practical EDC blade. These blade shapes aren't as practical as a Wharncliffe. I mean, Wharncliffe and the sheep's foot is my two favorite blade shapes for like EDC tasks. But for a self-defense thing, this would be pretty nice to have. Quite honestly, it just feels really strong, confidence inspiring. Love the action. They really do make some really good flippers. Now, I don't have experience with the older generations of the Hinderers, and they had received criticism for that at the time. But these modern Hinderers, their action is just really nice. Wow, that is sharp. So let's compare that to this. See, this is not as sharp, and you can tell. I mean, the bevel here is not nearly as steep of an angle as this one. So that's why this XM-18 doesn't cut as well. It's a great EDC knife in terms of you want to slice open a box and start a cut somewhere in the middle in the paper. It's awesome. But as a actual slicing knife, it's just okay. I mean, I really haven't spent a lot of time sharpening this one because when I do use a knife, it's normally as an EDC tool, and this works perfectly as an EDC tool. But this one here just seems like it's going to be great all around. I mean, the last knife I got was this Eclipse, and that also has a really sharp edge. So like I said, I think recently, I have several Hinderers. Recently, I think they've really stepped up their game, Hinderer has, on sharpening. Sorry, we went through the weight, we went through the size, talked about some of the features in terms of these thumb studs. Let's see if I can flip this knife with the thumb stud. No, not really. That might take some practice, but that detent is pretty strong. I like it. Oh, and that's another thing with these knives. It has texturing here on the lock bar. The access to this lock bar is really good. Easy to open, easy to close. I love with the XM-18 and the 24 how the handle kind of swoops down like this. It fits really good in the palm of your hand. It's really ergonomic. This knife is just a charm to hold. I really like it. Let's compare it, size-wise to other knives. So we talked about it's 9.25 inches, which is pretty big. Compared to an XM-18, it's 8.25. So 8.25 usually is like my favorite size, but I mean I like 8.25 and up. So there's not a whole lot of 9.25 knives, but let's see what else. This Demko AD20 or 20 AD is a big knife, and that's still the 24 is bigger than that. So this is let's say almost 8.75 inches. So XM-18 is big. XM-24 is bigger than that. Here's my Chavez. I love this knife, man. The Rendition 229. pretty big knife, but that's still 8 1/4. So that knife dwarfs it. And let's just do one more, not two more. Here is a Harsey folder. It's almost 9 inches, so it's still even bigger than a Harsey, and it's thicker. The blade is thicker, which I love. And finally, my man Les George and the VECP. That's 8 1/2. Love this knife. Love this knife. But when you all these knives feel so small compared to this one. This one definitely feels big and chunky, and you can definitely feel the weight. Now I don't feel like it's right now I don't feel like it's really heavy, but I haven't carried it in my pocket, though I hear it carries pretty well in the pocket. But for me, it's not going to bother me. I'm sure jeans is going to be fine. But again, this is not a review. I'll carry this knife and I'll give you a review about it and tell you for sure if how it carries. So can't really comment on that right now. In terms of centering, it looks dead on. I love that tip on this knife. Man, that looks like a real robust tip. And you can tell it just gets beefy right away. Love this finish. It's working finish. I think that's one of my favorite finishes there of Hinderers, and the stonewash. So here's a stonewash. So working finish is just super cool. I think from what I understand that sometimes this finish can encourage rust, because I guess the way they score it and they create maybe like little grooves, and it's not like quite as smooth as the stonewash. But I never had a knife rust on me. But this is a S45VN. This is a great blade steel. Really, really enjoy that. And one thing I love about Hinderers is their pocket clip. I think of all the knives that I own, Hinderer has this pocket clip works nearly the best of any knife that I own. I mean, just works really well. It's got a good lip up. Got enough material here. It doesn't really bunch up my pocket. It's just a great design. All right, well, that's my first impressions of the XM24. I really like it. I can't wait to carry it, and I'll let you know how I feel more about it once I start carrying it and using it. But I'm very, very impressed. Love the size, love the weight, love the tip, how strong the tip is, love how sharp it's come in. And it fits my hand really, really well. Am I a big fan of the choke up position? Yeah, I don't really use a knife like that, but it's nice to have. I guess it's nice to have. Okay, well, thanks for joining me. I appreciate you watching the videos, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a thumbs up if you don't mind. It helps the channel grow. Until next time, I'll see y'all. Bye.